Miss Jackson says her fiancé is a controlling cheater who spent the last 8 years punishing her for a past mistake. Now she wants him to take a polygraph test to make sure she's not making another one. Today on Divorce Court.
All rise. The Honorable Judge Starr presiding.
Hello, everyone. You may be seated.
Your Honor, the case of Jackson v. Hill.
Thank you very much. Ms. Jackson and Mr. Hill, welcome to Divorce Court. Thank you very much for trusting us with your relationship. Ms. Jackson is here today after being together with Mr. Hill for 8 years, engaged for 3 years. They have one child together, and there are other children whose lives are going to be impacted by the decisions these two adults make today. Let's see why we're in divorce court. Ms. Jackson, I turn to you. Why did you file this case, ma'am?
Your Honor, I'm here because I'm tired of my fiancé accusing me of something that happened years ago. And he's a liar, cheater, and very controlling. And we're here because I want to make sure he passed the lie detector test.
And if he does not pass this lie detector test, what are you prepared to do, ma'am?
He can hang up being his wife.
You will be done with this relationship?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Hill, you heard what Ms. Jackson said. Ms. Jackson says today is the day. What do you say, sir?
Well, I'm just here to, prove that I'm not the same person that I used to be. And, I love this woman and we have a life together and I don't plan on starting over.
Okay, let's see what we can come up with together. Ms. Jackson, why don't you take me back to a time when you all first met and then let me know what happened in between to get us to this point.
When we first met, I was 5 months pregnant and I was introduced to him by my cousin. He was very lovable and caring. And
even though he knew you were carrying another man's child?
Yes.
Okay.
We moved in 2 months after we started talking.
So you were still pregnant when you all moved in together?
Yes.
Okay. And you were okay with that, Mr. Hill?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Ms. Jackson, that sounds like that it has the potential of going somewhere. What happened?
We ended up having our own child.
Okay.
And we ended up getting engaged around the same time that we had our own child.
Okay.
And I kept asking him, let's get married, let's get married. And he kept making up stories like he don't want to get married. And after that, we broke up.
So you said, listen, if we're not getting married, then let's just go our separate ways?
Yes.
Did you both agree to that, Mr. Hill? That you were breaking up?
We kind of did, but we kind of didn't.
So what does that mean? Everybody was still dipping and dabbing?
Yeah.
Okay. We're all adults here. Were you and Miss Jackson still having intimate relations, Mr. Hill, during this breakup time?
Of course.
So that wasn't a real break, am I right, Miss Jackson?
It was.
So tell me how you constituted a break, because I always love asking these questions so we can actually have a meeting of the minds. What made you say you were broken up?
Because he didn't want to propose.
And you said if you don't propose, then I'm not your fiancé.
Yes.
Okay, do you agree at least with that, Mr. Hill?
Yes, ma'am. I agree
Okay.
with that.
However, were you still acting as the, quote, exclusive girlfriend, or were you just friends with benefits at that point?
Friends with benefits.
Do you agree with that, Mr. Hill?
I agree with that.
Okay, so at least we know what the baseline of the breakup was, okay? Corey, you confused yet?
I'm getting there.
Okay. So you all broke up, and then you somehow got back together. About how long after?
Like 2 months.
Did you come back in and propose at that point?
No.
I was thinking about it, but no, it didn't happen.
What made you take him back then?
I mean, a man that's doing everything for you and your kids, why would you not take him back?
Because you said your baseline was you wanted to get married.
I did.
But you took him back, and he was still not ready to get married, unless I missed my guess.
No, you didn't.
Y'all still haven't got married.
No, we didn't.
So I go back to you. Why'd you take him back?
Again, he was doing a lot for me and my kids.
So then getting married became a lower priority for you.
Basically, yeah.
That's it. And that's fair, because you and your children were, and your needs being met in other ways were more important to you, correct?
Yes.
Y'all rekindled the relationship, and then what happened?
After we rekindled the relationship, everything was going good at the time. Until one day, I was at my family house, and my sister, she was having a birthday party, and he do not like my sister at all.
Okay.
He said she's bad influence.
Yes.
So he was like, I can't go to her party or nothing like that. So I talked to my other family members to see what was the problem was and get their insight of the situation. And he ended up cursing me out, calling me a So I said, why are you calling me a I'm gonna still go. So I went to go take a shower, and when I got the shower, he was taking my tire and my barrier off my car, and I have proof to show it.
I'd like to see this.
Hey, why you take my battery and tire off?
So, you been cheating on me when I've been sitting there with them damn kids, so you ain't going nowhere tonight.
I'm so sick of this.
My time.
You ain't about that. I bought that with my money.
Oh, I bought the battery, I bought the tires, I bought everything, so I can take them off and take them back to the store.
You dusty mother.
So needless to say, when he said you're not going to this party, he meant literally you're not going to this party. Mr. Hill, why did you go to such extremes?
Basically because when we got back together, she had got pregnant.
And you were not the father?
No.
We wasn't together.
Start with this whole dating app situation.
We both was on live, and he started texting some female. The female started sending nude pictures. He started sending nude pictures as well. So I asked him about the situation, and he never explained it to me.
Well, somebody would have to explain sending nude pictures back and forth.
When we got back together, I was already pregnant. And I told him I was pregnant. And I told him it wasn't his child. So I did exactly what he told me to do, but he still bring it up to this day.
So you made that determination. What did you expect would happen after you made that decision?
That he'll stop talking about it and bringing it up every day, constantly.
Okay, Mr. Hill, help me to understand what's going on.
Well, that's because she wasn't doing anything to help with the situation. She kept clubbing, you know, and she was always gone, so.
That's a lie.
I don't know. She was doing things that showed me that, you know, she really didn't want to be with me. Like, she was always at the club and wasn't spending no time with me, you know.
So, Miss Jackson, Mr. Hill seems to indicate that it didn't seem like you really wanted to get back together. What do you say, ma'am?
That's a lie. I want to always at no club.
But I want to get to this because from what I understand, you say he has been disrespectful. Mr. Hill being disrespectful to you is really a cover-up for his own cheating. Am I correct?
Bingo.
Uh-oh, she said bingo. Why don't you explain to me what you mean? Start with this whole dating app situation.
One day we was chilling, and we both was on Tag. I don't know if y'all know about this site, but we both was on Tag. I was on Tag just for the live. You know, you can get paid off the live.
Okay.
So he was on there just to meet females. So one day, we both was on live, and he got off of live, and he started texting some female. The female started sending nude pictures. He started sending nude pictures as well. And then after that, he sent his address, and the lady started describing his car. So I asked him about the situation, and he never explained it to me.
Well, somebody would have to explain sending nude pictures back and forth.
So how does she assume that I'm on that?
Because I'm always looking.
For women, but she told me to download that.
Okay, but let's listen. That's called burying the lead. You sent nude pictures to another woman. I don't want to know about why you downloaded the app. I don't care about that. Why would you send nude pictures to another woman while you're in the middle of a relationship?
I don't even know, Judge. It was just one of those times.
You know what? That would not be adequate for me. Would that work for your wife, Corey?
Heck no.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't even make sense to me, Mr. Hill. What would you do if Miss Jackson was sending nude pictures to some dude on the app and he sent nude pictures back?
I'd probably break the phone.
Yeah. You probably would break the phone, and you'd probably be taking batteries out of cars and tires off the rims.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what you'd be doing. So she has every right to say, this don't make no sense. Am I right, Miss Jackson?
Yes.
I understand that's not the only one. Who's this warehouse girl?
We was laying in the bed having a movie night. One day she had called, and I answered the phone. She didn't say anything. She hung up the phone.
What happened?
I told him to call the number back.
Oh, see, there you go.
And he called the number back. She answered.
Now we know why there's a woman.
I started going off on her. We started going back and forth. So I asked him, I said, who is
Why
this
are you
woman?
having a conversation with her?
Because.
She not in a relationship with you?
And she was just a co-worker.
Tell me about the best friend.
We went to a karaoke bar. Some female and a dude was singing back and forth, sad songs. So he walked out, and his best friend walked out with him. She jumped in the car, and they both pulled off. I asked him to explain himself. He still didn't explain himself about that situation either.
So do you not feel, Mr. Hill, that you owe her any explanation for what sounds like very suspicious behavior?
I do. Well, I mean, she was just she was just a co-worker. And her and some more co-workers, you know, they liked the football, like I liked the football. And a team from where I'm from had came to where I'm from, and they had played, but I had missed the game. So I wanted to go to the next game, and I was.
So you were having a conversation with this woman about something that was totally innocuous, no problems, no issues.
Right.
Why didn't you explain that to your fiancé?
I tried to. We was just supposed to all get together and go to a football game.
So that's what you should have said. You should have checked that girl with a quickness and said, Becky, don't start no mess up in my house. You know we were just going to the football game. I don't need to have my fiancé feeling like something is going on. Why didn't you check this person with a quickness?
I guess I didn't move fast enough. I mean, I was checking her. I was letting her know, you know, this is my woman, you know, you can't talk to her like that, but, you know, she just kept going on at the mouth. You know how women do.
No, that's not how women do. That's how the women you know do. That's not how the women that I know do. But this is not the only woman that concerns you.
Yes.
There's a best friend involved, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about the best friend.
At the time, I did not know her for about, I would say, a year, because he said nobody can get along with me, and I have a bad attitude.
What happened?
We went to a karaoke bar, and that was my first time meeting her. So at the karaoke bar, I guess it wasn't appealing to him. Some female and a dude was singing back and forth, sad songs. So he walked out, and his best friend walked out with him. And when I walked out, she was like, tell that. And she was like, if you don't want her, tell her. And I was like, what do you mean? Tell me what? So he was like, she jumped in the car, and they both pulled off.
Well, that was just a big misunderstanding.
You drove off with a woman who just cussed out your fiancé?
Yes, ma'am, because she wouldn't get in the car. I mean, how long was I supposed to sit and wait?
No, you were supposed to tell your so-called best friend, get out of the car, because my fiancé is getting in the car. That's what you were supposed to do. Because I can't imagine a time I would want to get in the car with somebody who just cussed me out and called me out of my name. I'd like to hear from the polygraph expert. Will you please ask the expert to come in?
Sure thing.
I at least need to know some basic facts before we get started.
Good day, Your Honor.
Good day, Mr. Yarbrough. Will you please identify yourself and state your professional credentials?
Certainly. My name is John Yarbrough. I'm a certified polygraph examiner, also a member of the American Polygraph Association, and I've conducted hundreds of polygraphs for numerous law enforcement and other public safety agencies across the state, as well as private and professional polygraphs.
Mr. Yarbrough, I wanted some very clear answers to some pretty clear questions. The first question, we asked Mr. Hill, since starting your relationship with Ms. Jackson, have you had any sexual contact with your female, quote, best friend?
That is correct.
What was Mr. Hill's answer?
Mr. Hill answered no.
And what did the test results indicate?
The polygraph examination results indicated there was no deception noted to that question.
So the best friend is the best friend, okay, with the platonic in the P way. Question number 2, we asked Mr. Hill, during your relationship with Ms. Jackson, did you have any sexual contact with that woman who sent you a nude photo on that dating app?
That is correct, Your Honor.
What was Mr. Hill's answer?
Mr. Hill answered no.
And what did the test results indicate?
The polygraph examination results indicated there was deception noted to that question.
There was deception noted to that question. Question number 3, we asked Mr. Hill, did you have any sexual contact with that coworker who called your phone and hung up when Ms. Jackson answered?
That is correct, Your Honor.
What was Mr. Hill's answer?
He answered no.
And what did the test results indicate?
The polygraph examination results indicated there was deception noted to that question.
So we got some sexual contact with the woman who sent the nude photo, the sexual contact with the coworker. I'm checking off these boxes. There was a 4th question. We asked Mr. Hill, since being in a relationship with Ms. Jackson, have you had any sexual contact with anyone Ms. Jackson is unaware of?
That is correct.
And what was Mr. Hill's answer?
Mr. Hill answered no.
And what did the test results indicate?
The polygraph examination results indicated there was deception noted to that question as well.
Mr. Hill, you've been lying.
No.
I'd like to say thank you for your services, but you just validated what I think everybody in this courtroom knew. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Mr. Hill, you know you've been lying.
No.
Yeah, and don't adjust your clothes, because your clothes are fine. Ms. Jackson, Mr. Hill is not your husband. He's never going to be. And he's going to make you feel like the hoe the rest of your life. And that is not who you are. And if that's not who you want to be, don't let him treat you that way.
All right.
Okay? You were not in a relationship with him. He agreed with that. You all did not use protection. Young people make these mistakes all the time. You're okay to go on with your life. Okay. You did nothing wrong, Miss Jackson. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
You did nothing wrong.
Can I say something?
Of course you may.
So after all these years, I was doing exactly what you told me to do. You lied, you cheated, you played with my mind, you just did everything. I walk off.
And keep walking and don't let him back in your life. Mr. Hill, you had every right not to take her back, but to make her feel guilty and punish her over these years, that's not right. That's just mean-spirited and nasty. And I gotta tell you, go be with the best friend, the co-worker, the new dating app person. I just find it very sleazy, what you did. And until you do right by that woman, nothing good's gonna happen for you. That's my verdict.